Scott, it's another away defeat on the road. It's a mixed feelings scenario, I guess, amongst not just fans, but also I think even yourself, you've mentioned before, just speaking to me a moment ago, you're not quite sure. If you can then, sum up your thoughts on a 3-1 defeat away at Meadowbank.
Yeah, I think we've played an exceptionally good team today. I think credit where credit's due. I thought they were very, very good. They look like a full-time side. They look like they've got some of the best players in the league, which I'm sure that they'll probably argue that they have. I thought they were very strong all over, to be honest. We came with a shape that we played 5-3-2, tried to be solid. Obviously, when you concede the first goal, sort of game plan goes out the window. The plan to play that shape was to get into 0-0 at half-time, and obviously we have to change things halfway through the first half. And we had to be a bit more aggressive, be on the front foot, and I thought we were slightly better. We carried more of a threat, but overall they could have scored a couple before they went 1-0 up. Chaz has made some great saves, and then listen, he's beat himself up for the first goal, but he's got credit in the bank with the first 2 saves that he's made, so there's no dramas there. Second goal was really, really soft. I think we've lost the header. We've not reacted quick enough to stop the cross, and then tried to get a block on it. It's gone in the far corner, so before we know it, we're 2-0 down. Slavy then gets a great goal, important time as well, just for half-time, and then lo and behold, we concede a set piece which just completely kills any momentum that we had that was left in the game. And it's really disappointing. Set pieces are really frustrating to concede, and the boys know that. I don't need to say anything. They go in there and they hold their hands up. They're always accountable for their actions, and it is what it is. We all make mistakes, of course we do. We knew it would be tough today, and I think we're coming out of a really tough period. We've got Maidstone, Worthing, St Albans in the next 3. So yeah, some tough teams, and maybe Truro, I think. So it doesn't get any easier. People would then say after that you've got teams that are sort of in and around you. And hopefully we can start to pick up some points at home next Saturday against Maidstone.
Do you think then as well, obviously going 3-1 down, that massive chance as well for David when that little ricochet off a defender just sort of seemed to take the ball into his path, goes around the keeper but then just can't quite get the finish?
Yeah, it's something that I've spoken to the lads about, and they've held their hands up in terms of just getting their shots off earlier. We try and score the perfect goal and take too many touches, and sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But a lot of teams in this league will just get their shot off, get it through bodies. You never know if it takes a deflection, or even today you look at their first goal, they've tried a shot from 25 yards and in the end they've ended up scoring from it. So yeah, there's certain things that we can be better at, of course there is, but overall, from sort of like walking along the line at the end with our supporters, it seemed quite positive. Walking over to them at the end of the game was incredible. The support that they shown us today was just crazy, to be honest, which we're extremely grateful for. Of course we are. There was a lot of nice things said at the end of the game. I think they know we're in a bit of a rut. We're trying to get out of it, and we will get out of it. I think Bayliss will be back fit to play next week. Edon, obviously, I'm sure you'll speak about that in a minute. I thought done really well today. I thought he was a good addition. Guy's probably a couple of weeks away. Sam Evans, not too sure where he's at, so he might train next week. So I think once we've got everyone back and we've got the strength in depth, I've got no problems with the squad that we've got. I think we'll go and get some really good results. So it's just at the moment going through a little bit of turmoil. We know it's not ideal, and we're trying our best to get out of it. But like I said, it will turn for sure.
As you mentioned there's a little bit of defensive reconstruction ongoing at the moment. Edon made his second debut for the club today. You mentioned already he performed well. How do you see his position sort of forming in the squad, seeing as he is a left-footed centre-half along with Dan Bayliss? Is there any sort of competition between those two, or will it be those two together in the same side?
To be honest, there's a lot going on behind the scenes in terms of trying to get lads to be secure for next season. So we've spoken to a number of lads, a little bit up in the air at the moment, and I think Edon being 22, being left-footed, being a centre-half, it's a no-brainer for us. Like, you can never have too many left-footers in the team. He can play left-sided centre-half in a 4, he can play left-sided centre-half in a 3, he can play the central one of a 3, he can play left-back. So I think with left-footers, you've got to sign them while you can. And for me, I think he's a bit of a project for the club in terms of the management team, and for himself, that he can go and kick on. He actually spoke to me a couple of days ago about what's happened with Leon, and people see stories like that and think, do you know what, maybe Slough is a good club for me to do it. So we had a really good chat, and he just said, I just want to come back to Slough. He spoke to a few other clubs, and Yeah, he was dead set on coming back to us, which is great, and I thought he'd done really well today in difficult circumstances. Obviously, a difficult game, but like I said, it's planning for next season. We've got him on a contract till the end of next year. We wouldn't have brought him in if he wasn't willing to sign just to the end of this season, because it's throwing away money, and that's something that we won't do. So we're looking longer term. We have spoken to a few of the lads about next season, and listen, some of them in their minds have done really well, and we know that. So it's trying to get them to commit, but they probably don't want to jump too soon. But ultimately, my job is to try and build a squad for next year, and there's no point in starting that at the end of April or the beginning of May, because sometimes you miss out on some good players. So when the ones like Edon become available, it would be stupid for me not to jump at the opportunity. The club backed me; they saw his sort of profile and age, and said that it would be a really good signing. So yeah, I'm really thankful that they allowed me to do that.
You already mentioned about planning for next season then, but there is still, of course, 16 games left of this season. Is it just a case now just taking it game by game and sort of playing on that and just seeing what we can prepare for each game as it comes?
Yeah, it's one of those ones. We need to probably get another 10 points as quickly as we can. I think speaking to some of the managers that are down in the bottom four at the moment, they've been quite pessimistic. I've spoke to a few of them. They said, it's a big gap to close, but listen, football's it's a funny old game. You only have to look at Weymouth. Was it a couple of years ago? They did the Great Escape. We've got to play all the teams down there. It completely consumes you if you get involved in a relegation battle like we had in year one when I took over. So we know that once everyone's back, I'm confident that we'll obviously be fine. Of course we will. But yeah, we have to take it game by game. And I think that there's no point in looking at it now thinking we've got 16 games left. We've got Maidstone next week. Is it St Albans after that, Worthing after that? We'll just take it game by game, try and win the next one like we always do. And at the moment it's desperation in terms of trying to win the next one, but it's not for the want of trying. We are definitely trying, of course we are, but yeah, I'm quite confident in the group that we've got, so fingers crossed we'll be okay.
Cool. Commiserations, Scott, on the result today, and we'll see you again at Arbor Park next Saturday.
Cheers, Con, thank you.